I mean, I'm quite impressed with the way that EnCaf has developed in the last 3 years. It began with two or three people, and Vicky's here today, and Aurora, I think, will be coming on if she's not here already, who are two of the founding members. And they recruited a couple of others, including me, and we decided we'd turn EnCaf into a network. Not a group, but a network where we encourage people to work together and work in groups, and the groups that are with us to get together to take action around climate change, mitigation, and adaptation. And in 3 years, we have expanded our activities tremendously, and we've probably punched well above our weight in doing the things that we do. 3 years ago, we started getting organizations involved in being with us. And then in our next year, we worked with the Climate Coalition and we put on a festival where we ran 100 events in Enfield in 9 days. And we were the biggest group in that festival. And that really raised our profile. And then in the following year, we began to look at how our working groups could work, and they're going to report on that later, so I won't talk about that. But we also worked with the health authority, who liked what we were doing, and as a result, they were interested in our idea of community hubs, where we got people in a sort of bottom-up democracy way to talk about ideas that we could then possibly turn into action plans. So we had two community hubs in Enfield, in Eastern Enfield, in Edmonton, particularly in Ponders End, close to Ponders End, because we wanted to go to the east of the borough, because we started originally with people from the west, and the east is the most deprived area, and they're the people who will suffer most by climate change. And so we had successful ones there. And we also did a project with schools, a schools competition, and Zoe Cooper, who ran that with Maggie Blatt, is gone on to be a sustainability officer in Devon, which is great. And then last year, we began to do some really interesting things. We began to work with the Canal and River Trust to look at how the River League and the green space there can help with sustainability and climate change. And we looked at how we can develop green space in east of Enfield. And the land use group did some amazing work on that. And they then launched a campaign to look at how we can turn the Banbury Park area in the reservoir. And they had a very successful hub. And they're now looking at how they can progress that. And one way is through the local plan, which they think is central to the future of Enfield, and they will present on that as well later on. And what we then did as well after that is we did a community hub in Palmer's Green. And we did that in cooperation with Locomotion, which is a pilot group in Enfield, and they have 5 other pilots throughout the country, and who have some big funders backing them. And Paul Everett is with us today, and he and Locomotion came together with us to do the Palmer's Green Hub. So we covered things that were wider than climate change, but climate change focused a great deal. And we had over 120 people there. And that really sort of blew our mind out, because we did not expect that many people. And we're now trying to develop action plans around that. And our working groups are working solidly. You'll see that Aurora in the air pollution group, and Tim in the waste group, and Vicky in the land use group would talk about what they're doing. And I really appreciate their work, because they've made what we're doing really substantial. And I think we've got a pretty good future, because this year we're planning to, move on in a number of areas. We're working with Locomotion, who we're going to develop a number of community hubs, and we're going to be helping them with that. So there's going to be a lot of work happening this year, and I think that's really great. And we've worked with other groups like the Royal Academy of Arts, where we did a role-playing exercise recently, and that was at the beginning of this year. So, we're doing a great deal.